How much is a million? If 1 million kids climbed on one another's shoulders, they would be taller than the tallest building, higher than the highest mountain, and farther up than airplanes can fly. If you wanted to count from 1 to a million, it would take about 23 days. If a goldfish bowl were big enough for 1 million goldfish, it would be large enough to hold a whale. Presto, 100 stars. If this book had 1 million tiny stars, they would fill 70 pages. Climb aboard. There, you have 100,000 stars. If we take this 7-page journey 10 times, we'll pass 1 million stars. Let's do that later. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. How big is a billion? If 1 billion kids made a human tower, they would stand up past the moon. If you sat down to count from 1 to 1 billion, you'd be counting for 95 years. If you found a goldfish bowl large enough to hold 1 billion goldfish, it would be as big as a stadium. If this book had 1 billion tiny stars, its pages spread side by side would stretch almost 10 miles. Crazy. How tremendous is 1 trillion? If 1 trillion kids stood on top of each other, they would reach way, way, way beyond the moon. Beyond Mars and Jupiter too, and almost as far as Saturn's rings. If you wanted to count from 1 to 1 trillion, it would take you almost 200,000 years. If you put 1 trillion goldfish in a goldfish bowl, the bowl would have to be as big as a city harbor. If you put 1 trillion of our stars onto a gigantic roll of paper, it would stretch all the way from New York to New Zealand.